back from Missouri State, done with that one. We're on to Austin Peay. Got a great opportunity ahead of us. It's a conference game, our first conference game of the year, versus a team that is has a lot of momentum going right now. They won last weekend against Morehead State in great fashion too. I mean, they really played well versus them. So they're going to come in here. They're going to be a very excited bunch. They're going to be very excited to get into their first conference game. So it should be a good matchup, and I'm looking forward to it.
We talked on Saturday about Corey playing in the second half and going with the hot hand. What was the decision to make him the starter for this week?
Just he had the hot hand and made a bunch of plays Saturday, so we figured that he kind of earned that right, and we'll see how he does this week of practice, and if he continues to do those things and can make plays all the while taking care of the football, then he'll remain the starter, this Saturday.
With Newell in there, quarterback, how much more does that kind of maybe open the offense up a little bit more because he has the ability, to?
Yeah, I'm hoping a great deal. I'm hoping a great deal because now you're playing with 11. You're not playing with 10. If you have an immobile quarterback, then that's the trouble that you have on offense is you're playing with 10 guys, and they're playing with 11. And now we have the ability to play with 11, and do some things. He can just create some things with his legs if it's not there. If some throws aren't there, then he has the ability not just to sit and duck. He has the ability to get out and make some plays in space. But again, the biggest thing we have to make sure of is he's a freshman. He didn't play like a freshman Saturday. I was really impressed with him, just with the way that how poised he was. Very proud of that. But he is a freshman, so we've got to make sure that we put him in a lot of situations this week at practice. Where we have his mind thinking as much as his body, and making sure that he can take care of the football the way that he needs to so that we can always have productive drives and positive plays.
What does he have to do better this week than last week to put him in?
Well, I mean, he's just, the thing about him, and usually it's the same way with any great athlete like that is, they're not going to sit back there very long. They're going to catch the snap, and they've got one dude they're looking at. If he's not there, then they're gone. And he does that really well, but he's got to improve on some of the progression stuff and be able to work through at least 2 or 3 receivers, to find the open guy. And then if there's a hole available, then let him tuck it and run it. So I think that's the biggest thing is just making sure, again, that he's taking care of the football and getting him through some reads, as opposed to him just scrambling around and taking a bunch of hits and running the ball like a running back.
How permanent is this decision? Is this going into Saturday and seeing where it goes from there with Corey?
Oh, you know me, Ed. Nothing's ever permanent with the depth chart. It's always subject to change. But I mean, again, he played really well and he gave us a chance to win the ball game last Saturday. We didn't do a whole lot of things well Saturday, and that game's passed. That's what we use Sunday for, and we're all focused on the next task at hand, and I am too. But I will say that that's what he did well Saturday is he gave us a chance to win. He made some plays that weren't there. That first touchdown pass that he threw, he literally jumped 3 yards out of bounds and then threw it in the air and threw a perfect strike to Tyree Gray back there in the back of the end zone. And it's been a while since I've been able to have those plays where I'm going, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh yeah, and he finally gave us that ability. He gives you the ability to get yourself out of bad calls. Every once in a while you're going to make a bad call. You're going to make you're going to call hitches into press man coverage, and you don't have the ability to take a timeout or say, hey, hold up, and he gives you a chance to at least have a positive play in those type of calls. So, he earned the right coming out of Saturday. He's got to have a good week of practice. Coach Brotman's meeting with him this afternoon to explain the situation to him. Hey, listen, this thing isn't just given to you. You haven't just arrived and you can go mess around during practice and show up on Saturday and be the starter. He has to continue to show growth and show us that he can take care of the football all the while making all of those plays that we know he can.
You've been asking for the kick return and the kicking game to take that next step. How close, after reviewing the tape, was DeMontre Williams' return to being what you need?
It was, I mean, it's a game of inches. There was about that much cloth that got pulled, and that's the, you know, they look for three things. They look for cloth or obstruction. Was it at the point of attack, which it was, and did it make a difference in the play, which it did. So was it a small hold? Yeah, sure, absolutely, but it was a hold. But everything else was fit up right. D. Wade made a really good read on it, and I finally got a chance to see him out in the open run, and that was probably the most encouraging thing for me, was seeing him run and him being able to pull away from people and those things. So we're really close. I mean, you know, this football team, I love this football team. We're a good football team. We really are. You know, as funny as that sounds, and because, you know, I spoke to you after the game Saturday. We didn't play very well, but it's just we've got to. And I told you this Saturday. We do a lot of things really, really good. We do a lot of things good enough to win ball games. The problem is right now we're doing more things bad enough to lose ball games, and we've got to tip the scales on that. And so I think we will. I think we will.
Talk about moving Rico to running back.
Yep.
How you thought he played on Saturday?
I thought he played tremendous. Biggest thing that I was most proud of with Rico is well, let me start off by saying, I'm proud of him because it took a 2-minute conversation between him and I, me bringing him in, going, listen, we've taken a lot of hits at running back. I'm out of options. Will you move over? I mean, this guy that was a highly recruited athlete out of high school for defense. You know what I mean? Went to the SEC, was a defensive player, and I was able to not really even talk him into. I was able to have a 2-minute conversation of, hey, are you willing to do this? Coach, I'll do anything I got to do to get on the field and help the team. All right, cool, you're in. Then I thought that he, Coach Humphreys, Coach Hamilton, all of those guys did a fantastic job of. The one thing I didn't want to do was, and I told the offensive staff, I said, listen, if we make this move, I said, don't baby Rico. I said, I don't want to make this move and you put him out there for 5 or 6 snaps. Throw him in the fire, okay? Teach him the things that we think he can do really, really good. Throw him in the fire, and let's get some reps out of him. Let's see what he can do, because we need some explosiveness at that position. I thought that they did a great job, and Rico did a great job. I mean, we literally held nothing back. He did everything that DJ Pinnock, who's been running back for months now, he did everything that those guys did from a protection standpoint, from a run game standpoint. So I thought he picked up on it very well. And then just the way that he played, he made people miss. There was a couple of tackles that he made people miss. He fell forward. So obviously there's something there at that running back spot that us as an offensive staff were very, very encouraged. I'm going to tell you this, and some of you guys will know this because you were around this. Right now, offensively speaking, this team reminds me a great deal of the 2010 team. Okay, because if you remember this, in 2010, we didn't know where we were from a running back standpoint, from a running game standpoint. Mike Harris showed up on the scene, and we were able to run the football. Very similar to what happened Saturday. We've got 2 backs that can really run the football now, and then you got Nolan Nichols, who's just a good hard-nosed kid, who did everything that we asked him to do. And then in 2010, we had an injury at quarterback, so we had to bring this young kid that didn't know anything in Casey Brotman, and he goes out there and he runs around and he gives you the ability to make some plays that aren't there, not from a standpoint of he threw it so well, but just because he was athletic. And now we're kind of doing that with Corey News. So I'm really, really excited, just to be perfectly honest with you. And I told the offensive staff, because after Saturday, they were kind of down in the dumps. The offensive guys were down in the dumps. And I told them, I said, man, this could be really, really good. This has the makings of the exact same offense that we were in 2010, because the exact same things are happening. I think we're a little bit better than that team was from a personnel standpoint. So we'll see how these guys respond, you know, to what happened, how they go about their week of practice. We'll see how the quarterback situation shakes out. And I would be very, very discouraged if we didn't take huge leaps and bounds from last week to this week.
Addressed Austin Peay, 477 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns coming out. I realize it was against a non-scholarship team, but they do run it extremely well and have a lot of weapons.
Yeah, great question. This is not the same Austin Peay team that you're used to seeing. I'll just tell you that right now. What they did, I think that they did a tremendous job in recruiting. They took some guys last year that were not that were non-qualifiers that they could get into school, and they knew they were going to take their lumps last year, and now all of a sudden those dudes are eligible to play. And they're good. They've got a running back in Trey Nation. I don't know how many carries he's got, but that dude was a baller in high school now. He went to somewhere up north, Syracuse, Indiana, something like that, after Illinois, something like that. He was a big-time player out of high school. They got him. They've got a D-end that we tried to get here, couldn't get him into school, from Missouri. That's a really, really good player. He played last week for the first time, I think, legitimate snaps. So from a personnel standpoint, they're going to be a lot better. And I'm going to tell you the thing that I am most impressed with that team is those dudes, especially defensively, those dudes play like they want to be playing the game of football. Okay, they intercepted one the other night against Morehead State. Now it was a foul, it was a penalty on them, but literally their whole sideline jumped on this kid on the field to celebrate with him. Okay, they are one of the most excited bunches you will ever see to play the game of football. It is incredible how hard they play. When they get you into a third down, their whole sideline and their defense holds their hands up the whole time until it's ready to play, and then the dudes on the sideline, they keep their hands up. They've got one of those trash cans. If they get an interception or a turnover, they come dunk the ball in the trash. They are rolling right now from momentum, so it's very imperative that we understand this is not the same Austin Peay team that people are used to coming in here, and their personnel's bad. They've done incredible things from a personnel standpoint, and I think Coach Healy's done an incredible job of getting those guys to play hard and buy into what they're doing. So it'll be a very, very fun task.